Hey everyone, this is week 16 of the Fantasy Cookout with your boys Marque, right? College football aficionado.
Yes, sir.
Hey, it's getting into bowl season, man. The playoff games this weekend.
Yes, sir.
First round. First
Can't wait.
round.
Can't wait. Quality
So
football.
what you think of Georgia versus Ohio State? Who you got? I mean, that's obvious. I ain't gonna.
Ooh. I ain't say it's obvious, but Georgia. I mean, I got Georgia. It's gonna be tight though. It's gonna be real tight.
I
Yeah.
don't know about that, man. That Ohio State hasn't seen a defense like Georgia. Like
I got
when
Georgia
I
by.
saw,
I got Georgia by 10.
oh, you
Yeah,
guys gonna be tight. 10
That's tight
points.
though. That's tight for Georgia. That's tight.
All right. Who you got? Who you got, Devon?
man, Georgia's gonna cover the spread, man. Like they're gonna cover the spread easily.
What's the spread?
6.5.
Oh yeah, they'll cover that. I ain't worried about it. All right, and then you got Michigan and TCU.
Man, guys, man, I'm pulling for the upset, man. I'm going TCU for the upset, man.
What's his name? Duggan? What's his name? Duggins or something like that?
Yeah,
Max
Duggan.
Max Dugan.
Yeah. That dude's a dog, man. That dude. I saw him play. I was like, he put the team on the back, boy. He literally carried the team on the back at the end of that championship game.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah,
right.
he a Big 12 dog, so whatever. I think Michigan will run through them boys, man. To be honest with you.
Okay, so you're talking about Michigan, Georgia in the championship game. That'd be pretty interesting matchup.
And then Georgia gonna blow Michigan back out.
Oh yeah. Let's be real. Let's be real. Yeah. Georgia some dogs, literally.
They're gonna be a 2-10.
Exactly. Hey, and we got Mr. Trade for yourself himself, Mr. Devon Elder. Catch him every Wednesday at 7 Eastern. Hey, come and get that trading knowledge. Me and him been chatting up all day, man. Tesla took that hit, boy, and I was like, time to get it. I was like, yeah, son.
But I heard they're gonna stop the trading. I heard they're gonna stop it.
Stop
what? Stop what trade?
That's what it was. Elon Musk said he won't allow anybody to get new shares or something like that.
He said Elon said that he himself was going to stop selling stock.
Selling for at least 24 months. Yeah, he's gonna stop for 18 to 24 months. He's gonna stop, selling.
He's trying to pretty much have some stability in the stock because the stock's been very volatile. The stock is literally a falling knife right now. It just keeps falling, but this is providing massive opportunities, man.
Yes, this is the lowest I've ever seen it. Like we were talking, like, man, I never ever think it would get to this price. I was just like, that's all. Hey, like Birdman.
I'm worried about electric car sector, man, because seeing what happened this week with the weather getting really cold, a lot of
people couldn't charge their cars and stuff.
They wouldn't charge. Like, man, that's a bad deal, man. If you're trying to go, nationwide electric. I know it don't happen often. It gets that cold, around the country. But when you need it with a gas, you can go. So
I think the thing is that they'll figure out a way. They'll have like some kind of heated device to kind of melt it, keep it like so it won't have frost over and stuff like that. It's easy fixes to that, but like you said, it's like a freak weekend.
It's a freak week.
Yeah. And parts of the country that don't normally get this cold, like it was like in the teens, and like where we were. So, yeah. But anyway, enough about the weather. Enough about all that. Hey, secondly, I want to thank all our subscribers, all the people who watch us. Thank you for just tuning in. I know this is like the playoff time for most people in fantasy football, but we're going to continue content, throughout the off season. We're going to be giving you quality fantasy advice just for, building up teams, draft strategies, things I'll be learning throughout the time. Because, during your off season, you got to study the books, build other strategies, find out what's going on with, the NFL draft, these rookies, as we've seen, a lot of rookies show up during our football season. We had a plethora of wide receivers and running backs who made a significant impact in the NFL. And so this is the perfect time for you to study and see, after the NFL draft, when they're on certain teams, you're like, hey, this quality player could make a significant impact on this team because so and so and so and so. And it's all predictions, of course, because we're not actually in, the the coach's, room, making all these decisions. But, it's always fun making predictions and stuff. So catch us out during the off season. We'll be still providing content. And that's all I can say about that. So let's go on to our first segment. It's the week 15 game of the week. And we all came to agreement that, no game was more important than the Eagles at the Cowboys. And boy, oh boy, was it a game. Man, I was very impressed by this game. And not going to lie, it did not disappoint at all. We didn't have Jalen in because he had a shoulder injury. He was on the sidelines, but you had a very competent backup in Gardner Minshew. I was impressed. I'm not going to lie. Gardner.
Funny how that works, huh? No Jalen, no problems, huh? See how that works?
Hey, we're going to talk about that in the topics. Look, I already knew. Look, I play fair. But I will say this, and y'all can agree with me or not, but I think he's one of the best. Gardner Minshew is one of the best backups in the league right now. In like his position, like he was able to step in a week's notice, and he put up 355 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had 2 interceptions, but whatever. He's getting used to the team. 5 rushing yards for a rushing touchdown. He had 22.7 fantasy points this week. Right. That's fairly impressive for a guy who hasn't played a game all season. So hey, I doubted you, Gardner, but hey. You showed up, but I didn't doubt you enough that I didn't play Cowboys defense in any of my leagues, which I am thankful because the Cowboys defense got ran through. Stephon Diggs, not Stephon Diggs, but God, man, Devontae Smith, man, pure magic, man. 8 receptions, 113 yards, 2 touchdowns, man. That dude was on it. Nobody could stop him. That dude's only 5'10", man. If you could say, hey, that dude is a beast.
Nah,
pure talent.
He's 6 foot, man. He ain't 5'10".
They say 5'10".
Nah, I think he like 6 foot.
They say 5'10", man. Look, I can go look up while y'all talk about y'all commentary.
Don't do my guy like that, man. I don't think he's 5'10". He don't play.
So what y'all think of the game? What do y'all think of the game?
He don't play 5'10". So. I mean, I think the game was awesome. I mean, it was back and forth. It's the type of game I love to see. It was probably one of the best games this season. Maybe the best game this season so far. It lived up to all the hype, even without Jalen Hurts. So it all worked out what we all wanted to see. I mean, we had drama in the beginning with Dak Prescott. A little first quarter struggle. But. In the end, Cowboys pulled it out.
Hey, vintage Dak showed up, 347, 3 touchdowns, only 1 interception, and 41 rushing yards. He had 27.98 fantasy points this week. Vintage Dak, this was the best game of his season so far. All the things that we have been talking about. Cowboys, will they be able to close it out? Cowboys, will they be able to, stop the turnovers? Will they finally be able to be competent enough to finish a game? They did it, and they did it against one of the best defenses in the league. So I give props where props is due. Dak, you did your thing, man. You weren't a game manager. You actually were a QB1 level quarterback this week. Now, the thing is, can you be consistent and keep this up? Because y'all are in the playoff hunt now. Y'all got a chance to compete with the Eagles.
Yeah.
For top of the division now. I mean, can you win out these last 2 games? That's the question. You got a Thursday night game coming up against Tennessee. That's a must win. You need to beat the Titans. And the way the Titans looking right now, I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem because they only have Derrick Henry. So, load the box and beg Malik Willis to throw. Even though there has been rumors that, Tannehill could possibly be back by week 18, which is crazy because he just had surgery. So just like,
hey, man. It's amazing what
I'm like, bro, you gonna recover a surgery in 2 weeks? Ain't no way. But Vaughn, go ahead, man. What's your thoughts?
Man, I do definitely feel like this was a great game. Definitely lived up to the hype without Jalen Hurts. I really wish Jalen could have played in this game.
Me too.
Something tells me there may be a rematch coming down the pipe that Jalen might be planning. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in the playoffs. But it was crazy in that first quarter, man. Me personally, man, like it was really looking pretty bad for the Cowboys because, in my opinion, I think that Dak Prescott probably threw one of the worst interceptions ever.
Worst I ever seen.
Probably one of the worst interceptions ever. I'm like, Dak, like what are you doing? I mean, like you literally threw the ball, like just lofted it like it was a loaf of bread or something. And the guy just grabbed it very easily, just scored a touchdown. Like I was like, man, like this is not starting off good. But hey, they came back. The Cowboys, they had their weapons doing what they need to do. I'm telling you, it was a back and forth game. It was like I said, that division matchup that you expect from the Cowboys, Cowboys and Eagles matchup. So, it was a great game. Look, it showed me what the Cowboys have the ability to do. If the Cowboys don't win the division, they'll be playing against the Buccaneers. They'll be going on the road against the Buccaneers. Don't fold.
Please.
That's all I gotta say. Don't fold on the road against the Buccaneers, man. Now, don't get me wrong. That's not guaranteed, but I suspect the Buccaneers will prevail in the NFC South.
Yeah. And one person we didn't give their due shine to was CD Lamb. CD Lamb, do the truth, bro.
Yeah.
Let's give props where props to do. 10 receptions for 120 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. Hey, you did your thing, man. You proved that you still top dog. Even T.Y. Hilton called a very, very crucial pass. I was like, Hilton. I was like, oh yeah, he did join Cowboys. I know about that.
Yeah, CD let him hang this weekend, man.
Yeah. So hey, I've been giving the Cowboys some hard times, but I gotta give props where props is due. Y'all showed up, y'all did your thing. So,
but I wonder though.
What's up?
If we got the rematch that we expect, would CD had the same game and would the Cowboys still win? So I didn't really see any really other receivers feature. Like,
no,
I mean, not even Schultz when they really even featured.
He had a couple catches, but it wasn't nothing like
nothing that was monumental. So it's like I just wonder, man, because they lack receiver depth.
Well, the biggest pass catcher they had was Tony Pollard, and he was the only one that, besides actual receiver, was catching passes. So, I mean, and then Tony Pollard, he's a little banged up.
I wonder if the Eagles were to tweak the defense a little bit and just put a little bit more emphasis on CD Lamb, would the outcome be a little bit different?
Who knows, man?
Maybe
we'll have to see.
Maybe we'll find out.
Hey, it's a good question, and we're gonna see in the playoffs, man. I think this could be a scary matchup in the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely.
But then it'll be a different matchup because it'll be Jalen Hurts instead of Gardner Minshew, and so
like a new game.
Yeah, very new game. I think if they were the Eagles, if I was the Eagles, I would rest Jalen because you do see that Gardner is capable of. He can win you a game. Gardner can win you a game. From what I saw, he can win you a game. And so, like, I would think he would be better suited if Jalen just get his shoulder fully healed enough to where, get ready for the playoffs. Maybe play in week 18. Take off this next week and then play in week 18 just to get warmed back up before a playoff game.
Have they clinched?
Cowboys still got a chance.
Yeah, they have to. The Eagles have to win.
I think one more game.
If they win Sunday, they clinch home field advantage throughout the playoffs.
I think if Jalen can play Sunday, he should play. Get the win and then rest the last game.
I can see that too.
If he can play, if he's able to go.
You don't want a 50% out there,
Yeah, I mean, you got to limit him, but I don't know with Jalen Hurts' game. I don't know if you can really limit him because if you limit him too much, he will be ineffective because he can't rely.
Yeah, that's why. That's what I was saying.
I don't think he has the arm to throw his way out of the game. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, basically, he needs to just, maybe rest week 17 and just, wait till week 18 to play an easy game, get warmed back up so he can be ready for the playoffs.
Right.
Yeah.
But we'll see what they decide to do. Coaching staffs, they're unpredictable. You can't really tell what they're going to do. They need to be unpredictable because they're playing for their jobs. So they don't care about us meager fantasy footballers. But let's go down the injury list. So we brought up some crucial injuries. Not Deshaun Watson. Jesus, Lamar Jackson. He's still hurt. He's still on the injury report. I don't know how that's gonna go. I'm kind of leaning towards what Marque said earlier. It's gonna be a whole issue of franchise tag next year. Yeah, that's gonna be a conversation we're gonna have. During the off season.
I hate it for him, man, but I think it's coming.
Yeah, because he hasn't played in the last 3 games?
Yeah, I think 3 games. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, but you got Jalen Hurts with shoulder. We just talked about him. He's week to week, so we'll see what they decide to do. We got Aaron Jones ankle, which Aaron Jones, I got some words for you, boy. I got some words.
Oh boy.
Oh
boy.
Aaron Jones.
Aaron
Jones.
It's one of the things that grinds my gears about football players. I know y'all got the competitive spirit. Y'all think y'all, you know your body because you're going through injuries before. But if you hurt, man, just sit your ass down.
Hey, man. No, man. It's next man up, man. This ain't little league. Your spot ain't guaranteed. You can get out there and push it. You got to go push it, man, because it's already NFL. It stands for not for long. So if you can go, you got to go, even to the detriment of your own health. You got to go, man.
Yeah, man. That's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. Hey, man, look, Drew Bledsoe, man. You got a spot took, man.
Yeah, never played again. Never played again.
Never the same. Never. So I mean, hey, if like guys are gonna try to go. You know what I'm saying? Zeke was going through an injury earlier in the season. He said, "Hey, man, I'm gonna go." The Cowboys ended up holding him out, but if the Cowboys wouldn't have held him out, he would have won.
Yeah,
that's just what these guys do, man.
Yeah, but
I know it hurt us fantasy wise, but
I'm low key big mad. Because it screwed me up in so many different levels. I'm thinking, but I'll say that for my later. I'll say that for later. I'll hold it in. Tony Pollard, he's like he got a thigh injury, didn't practice. Dallas plays Thursday, so we're gonna see about Tony Pollard. Yeah, Derrick Henry hip did not practice Monday. Couldn't rest him in 17 to play Jacksonville for the division in week 18.
I would.
That's probably what I would try to do because it's like even if you win the game, it's like I still
don't win the division.
I still got to win in week 18, so it's like just get a weekend. Look, it's already a short week anyway, so hey, go ahead and rest.
Yep. Tua, man. Another concussion. He played through the game with a concussion. Looked like in the end of the first half. I mean, let's see. No, I don't have that one. But it looked. Actually, I do. Give me a second, guys. Here we go. Let me present, share screen, and share this one, and share. And put them up on the big screen. All right, so this is the play that everybody thinks that he got injured. So this was second quarter. Bring it up on the big screen. Right there. Look at it. You see right here. Gets tackled by number 55. Bam. The head does a double bounce against the turf.
Look pretty routine to me.
Yeah, but not from a guy who was looking like he, you saw when he was playing the Bengals.
Yeah.
Once you have a concussion, you're prone to have multiple concussions after that.
I think to answer your question, I think it may be best. It may be best to sit him out for the season, man.
That's what I kind of put. If I was the Dolphins organization, I would think about my future.
I mean, if he's supposed to be your franchise quarterback, then you need to sit him out.
Yeah, like don't risk him for they do have a chance to play in playoffs? They have a chance for a wild card?
Slight chance.
Yeah, I would just sit him.
They're in the they're in the 6th seed right now.
Yeah.
They've got to play the Patriots.
They got to win out, right?
Yeah, like that's the thing. That's the thing. Like you're gonna have to play. Like the Steelers are playing. The Steelers are still in the hunt. The Patriots are in the hunt. The Jets are in the hunt. You got a lot of guys in the hunt. So, if you're going to actually, play well and make it into the playoffs, you're going to have to play your best guys. But I mean, me personally, like the Dolphins is a team. The Dolphins is probably the team that's probably puzzled me the most in this NFL season. Probably puzzled me the most because it's like these guys earlier in the season, these guys were right there at the top of the division. Beat Buffalo, all of that. And then, Tua got hurt. And then when Tua got hurt, it was kind of like the team started regressing and they started losing games that they were supposed to win while Tua was playing. And I'm just like, okay, you guys are losing games while Tua is playing. Like, I mean, look, do you guys want it? I mean, I just have a question. Like, you guys have all the weapons. You got Jalen Waddle. You got Tyreek Hill. You have running backs. Like, you have athletes on the defensive side of the ball. Like, what is going on?
Like, and Waddle was a monster this week, man. I watched that game. I was like, goodness gracious. Nobody could stop him.
Yeah, I mean, they got the dogs.
Yeah. So, I mean, from a fantasy perspective, these guys are going insane right now. Insane. Yeah. But it's not translating to W's. And that's why I asked the question earlier in the season, like, why are you being so short-sighted by putting Tua out there earlier when he had his first concussion? Then he had his first concussion. Then he had a second one. Now he's got a third. It's like now you're setting him up for failure, and you're setting yourselves up for failure over the long term by being short-sighted in the short term.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you guys, Teddy Bridgewater isn't the answer. I'm sorry.
No.
He's not the answer, guys.
Yep, not this year.
So if Tua is not your answer over let's say, like, if Tua is not your franchise quarterback, if he is not the franchise, guess what? That means you got to go back into the draft and get a quarterback.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, you don't want him to be like Brett Favre. I mean, some estimates say Brett Favre had thousands of concussions in his 20-year career.
Look like he's still having them, but I digress.
Yeah, I mean, Brett Favre is a mess right now.
Okay, Chris. That's probably all those concussions. That's probably why he had a lapse of judgment over there in Mississippi, right?
Hey, that's what we're doing. Hey, we're gonna have an extra
a millionaire stealing money.
Yeah.
Welfare, I know.
This could be in the game. Yeah, in the game's amnesia. Let's be convenient.
You're stealing money to give to a public university that has an endowment. Okay, yeah.
For a non-revenue sport.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Nepotism, right? Nepotism.
Hey, man,
was there some family members on that team? Maybe. Okay.
Oh man, was it Eric Decker that was one of the wide receivers that had like a whole bunch of concussions? He had to like quit football.
Man, Wes Welker had a lot of concussions.
Wes Welker, that's the one. I think I knew it was one of those Patriots wide receivers.
Yeah, he had a lot of concussions.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. Wes Welker. Tough game, man. All right, let's continue on the list. We had a few more, notables. We had Ryan Tannehill, like we talked about earlier. It's possible he can play in Week 18. after having ankle surgery, I'm just like, bruh, just sit him out. Sit him out. Mike White, he's looking like he's day to day. Russell, I was going to say Russell Wilson, but Zach Wilson played. I saw that game, and he was straight cheeks. Cheeks.
Trash, man.
Booty.
Trash, man.
That boy was booty. And I was like, they just need to toss him out, man. They should hand over the jersey, put your jersey in the pile. We gonna just throw your jersey in the trash. We'll clean out your locker and have your box waiting outside the door.
Can we be honest for a second?
What?
Mike White sucks. You know that, right? We know he sucks, right?
He don't suck worse than fucking Zach Wilson. Jesus.
I thought they both cheeks.
Nah, man. Nah. At least Mike White can throw the ball, man. Zach Wilson, it's like he's like doing a Jameis Wilson, Jameis Winston when he had his eyes closed and he would just throw it in. Like that's what he's doing.
Mike White is this year's answer, but not the future.
Oh no, he ain't the future, but he's this year's answer. Let's be. But he's way beyond Zach Wilson in passing game, like way beyond. Like Zach Wilson just sucks. He sucks. Like I don't know how he finessed the Jets. I don't know what he told them when he was getting drafted. I don't know what kind of interview process he had, but he finessed a few million out of him. So at least he's got his rookie deal. But that's all he's gonna get. We've had conversations about this. That's all he's gonna get.
Look, guys. Look. Zach Wilson. I would compare Zach Wilson to a SPAC in the stock market, to where he got money. He got enough money to be able to go public, and now he's in danger of going bankrupt. Like he did so well that he was able to become publicly traded. Guys, listen to this, guys. Listen to this. Zach Wilson, quarterback out of BYU. He signed a 4-year, $35.1 million contract. $35.1 million guaranteed, including a $22.9 million signing bonus.
He's good. He good.
Whoever his agent is, look, everybody. Let's look up his agent. Let me look that up.
Congratulations.
He has bank, man. Fully guaranteed contract, man. I mean, golly. I'm telling you, man, Zach Wilson made enough money. Look, Zach Wilson made more money in 16, 17 games than Jalen Hurts has made in his whole career to this point. Insane. Telling you, man, crazy.
That's crazy. That is insane.
Dude. Insane, dude.
Whoever his agent is, I can't even find him. But whoever his agent is, he deserves a fact check because he did well. He did his job. He did his job. That's the agent that Lamar Jackson needs, right there. That's the agent Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson just need an agent. Anybody,
just any warm body that knows the sports landscape,
right? That can somewhat read a contract. Is it anybody?
Oh, that's funny. All right, let's continue on. Next on the list, we talked about Mike White, Derrick Henry. We already talked about him. Tony Pollard, he has did not practice on Monday, thigh injury. We'll see what happens with that. I think he'll be all right, for the Thursday game. Aaron Jones, like I said, I'm pissed, but I don't even want to talk about him no more. Jamal Williams, he got a leg injury. So, looks like him and DeAndre Swift have switched roles, man. It looks like DeAndre Swift's kind of taking over because Jamal Williams left the Lions game this week and never came back. So, we'll see about that. Damian Harris, thigh. They're talking about Deebo Samuels, man. It could practice this week.
Yeah, coming back.
This dude is like fucking Piccolo from DBZ, bro. He got regeneration going on.
He got a Huckleberry time chamber, man. He ready.
It's like, bro, they were saying you were done for the season. They talk about you practicing this week. That was last week. They said you're done for the season.
Yeah, man. Like I mean, it's crazy, man. How things go about around here in this league, man. Crazy.
Well, I was like, if I was Devo, I get it. Your team is in contention for, Super Bowl chances because Brock Purdy's playing good enough for y'all to like put it all together. You got Christian McCaffrey, he's still doing okay. Your receiving core is sucking because you're missing your top dog in Devo, but you still got Ayuk, and then a quick toss to George Kittle. George Kittle went off this week. He had a game. George Kittle had a game. And with that combination, you got pretty good chances of staying in the game. So I can see why he would want to come back. Tyler Lockett, hand injury, we talked about that previous last week, but they'll see what he can do. He had surgery on his hand, so hey, we'll see if he'll come back. Christian Watson, they said, he got hurt mid-game in the Green Bay Packers game this week. He sat on the side with his street clothes on, but they said he looks like he avoided a major injury. So looks like Christian Watson could be playing. I know Aaron Rodgers will appreciate that because that's his top receiver this year. And the rest of the people really don't matter. I mean, I'm just going down the list. Yeah, ain't nobody else matter. But that's all your notable injuries for this week.
Chris,
so
is it safe to say going in the championship weekend that if any of these guys are on this list, regardless if they're questionable, regardless if they're doubtful, regardless if they're probable, whatever, do you think if they're on this list, should you err on the side of caution if you are going into a championship game?
We always go with the rules. If you're your dogs, you drafted them, you go with your dogs, no matter what. But you can get burnt like that because we just had this conversation about, guys in the NFL, if they feeling like, hey, my spot is at risk of being taken by somebody, because everybody's hungry. You got them backup running backs hungry, ready to take your spot. I mean, yeah. I would err on the side of caution still personally, but at some point you gotta weigh your options. What's your next option? What's in your bench that could possibly replace him? Are they in a better situation? Are they playing a worse defense for the position based off of like, does this, say if it's a running back, it's a backup on your bench playing a team with a good scenario for your running back, like say there's the Seahawks, because they're like the number one defense that's horrible against running backs. Like if I was, if I had a running back playing against Seattle on my bench versus Tony Pollard, I'm probably gonna switch that out, because the err on the side of caution, because still Tony Pollard still sharing carries with Zeke, so it's like you never know what that situation is gonna be like. That's already up in the air. And then, you got somebody with got some hip injuries, or, you'd be like, do I want to play a guy who's going to get the touches and play against a horrible defense? Or will I play a guy who's going to play against a really tough run defense? Because that's what the Titans have. They have one of the best run defenses in the league. So, it's scenario based. And that's why I love answering these questions, because it makes me do research. It makes me, I give my best educated guesses. I have people actually text and call me and like ask me like, hey, should I be playing this person? Should I be, doing this? And I just give them my information. I give them my background, like what I think this person could do based off of the information that's provided. And then I'm just like, well, this is why I would go based off of what I know. But we all know in football is, it's a guess game.
Yeah, I got you.
At the end of the day. So, yeah, err on the side of caution, but go with your best option. Err on the side of caution, but go with your best option.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. So this is the segment I have not been looking forward to I really didn't even want to do this segment tonight. I've been hurting, guys. This has been one of the roughest weeks of fantasy football for me. I went through some stuff. I was just like, damn, really? It had to be like this. And I know there's a lot of people who went through this week because the weather was crazy. Let's just be real. The weather was crazy. A lot of your top dogs that you can't sit, you had to play. Like, and you can't sit Stephon Diggs, man. Like, you even know the weather. You know the weather's horrible in Chicago. You cannot sit Stephon Diggs, man. I'm just like, and that was that was one of the things I had to deal with. It's like, damn, I can't sit him because it's like, that's my dog. That's my dog.
Yeah,
that's my dog.
Dog,
that's my dog. It's like, I drafted him to be my dog this season. And I just, bad luck of the draw with the weather. He had to play in some real harsh, windy weather in Chicago. So Josh Allen ain't 100% with his elbow. That's another thing that's bad. We'll talk about that later. So you had to go with what you go with. But I am proud of my team this season. They did do the best they could, but the best wasn't good enough. As my best friend would say, he said it to several people in college who were about to get kicked out of the major. But y'all know who I talk about. So this is how it ended up. This was the top dog most of the season. This guy, he has a platinum level, as you see. He's a dog.
He's earned it.
This is one of the guys we talk about that been playing since like 2009 or something like that. Something crazy. He's been doing it. He beat me out. Mad respect to him. I can't. 10-4 record. I can't really complain. This was a very competitive league to be a part of. The people who didn't show up. Stephon Diggs, 2 receptions for 26 yards. You don't expect that out your dogs, man. I know, rough, very rough. While I'm playing against CD and Lamb, 2 reception touchdowns, 10 receptions for 120.
If you play CD Lamb this week, you probably lost. So
yeah, and I played Jalen Waddle, and I played Austin Eckler.
Oh,
yeah. It's like the Trinity right here. This Trinity ran shop on me. Devin Singletary this week. Devin Singletary finally showed up. And that was, in my other league. This one kind of hurt me because I didn't play Devin Singletary in my other league. And the loss is the reason why I lost and I'm not playing the championship game. It's one of the things that hurts.
Chris, if you don't mind me asking, why did you play Devin Singletary in this league, but you didn't play him in the other league?
I had no choice in this league. I literally basically had no choice. I played Zonovan Knight in the other league because, I went off of, look, weather conditions, they're probably going to run the ball more, keep it like that. I played towards the game script. Devin Singletary I didn't know what they're going to do. Bills, they throw. They just throw. No matter what. They finally got some sense in this game to actually run the ball, and you had James Cook and him go for nearly 100. He went for 106 yards. James Cook went for 99 yards and a touchdown. Like
smash mouth football, smash mouth football, cold weather team, cold condition.
Yeah. But they had been doing it at all, and so they've been depending on Josh Allen's arm and his legs. They finally did what they're supposed to do. And you can't predict that, That's the thing. It's football.
Mm-hmm.
Jets, I was like, hey, you got Zach Wilson, you got running back Zonovan Knight. Even he plays Zonovan Knight. which was, that's one thing I texted him, wishing him congratulations, good luck in the next. I got good sportsmanship. It sucks, but I was like, dude, congratulations, man. Tough fault battle because we played all the way to Monday night. I had Mike Williams and Zach Moss. That's how desperate I was. Yeah. But it is what it is, man. I fought to the very end. Diggs let me down. I was a bit let down.
Yeah, that hurt bad.
Yeah. Christian Kirk, he was the dog, and then Zay Jones. But really, even Zay Jones didn't have a good game against the Jets. It was really Evan Ingram. He had 115 yards or something like that in that game.
Yeah, he was the offense.
Yeah.
He was offense.
Man, Evan Ingram has caught lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, he's turned up. He's turned up these last few weeks.
Crazy.
Yeah. And Najee had a game. Najee had a solid game for Najee.
I'm telling you, man. Najee is a guy that I respect, man. He's a guy that I respect. People have been giving him a lot of flack. He's still
including me.
He's a good running back, guys. And he's going to be the Steelers running back for years to come. Like, Najee is who the Steelers need at the running back position. Yeah, that's what I feel.
Yeah. Mike Williams, he had a solid game. I mean, I would take that, but that whole passing offense, Herbert had another terrible game. They won the game, but it was off of Austin Eckler's back. I don't know about Herbert anymore. I'm kind of questioning that a lot.
I think he's still hurt, man.
Yeah, I think he still got that rib injury that he got in week 2 or 3, man. I was like, I just don't think he's not doing what he usually does. Because we've seen Herbert. We saw him last year. He showed out. But it is what it is.
Him and Mac Jones kind of got the same thing going on right now. They both kind of regress.
Yeah. Zach Moss did good for Zach Moss, 65 yards, and he basically had 70 total yards. I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah, not terrible.
Not terrible. Nick Folk didn't do jack shit. I mean, that was like, so if I had to say a mess up that I made was not looking at the domes and not picking a kicker in the dome. I could have picked up Suck Up or something like that, or another kicker who was playing in a more hospitable place.
Right.
But it is what it is, man. And you got the Bengals, which I told you I wasn't going to start the Cowboys, and I stayed true to my word. They got 12 points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And even if I look at my bench, the only person that really did good was Chuba. I wasn't expecting that because Detroit has a pretty solid run defense. And I had to worry about freaking Foreman. But both of them had solid games. He had 125 rushing yards, and Foreman had 165 and a rushing touchdown. So they totally depended on the running game against Detroit, even though Detroit has one of the best run defenses. So, overall, I mean, looking at what I had on the bench versus, what I played, the only thing I could really have fixed was maybe playing Chuba and putting a capable kicker in a dome in, but that's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
It fall where it fell. So, I couldn't beat myself up too much, even with my other league where I played, Zonovan Knight over Devin Singletary, because Devin Singletary was sharing a lot, right? He was sharing a lot with James Cook. I didn't know who was going to be the high hand, who was they going to go with. Are they going to actually run the ball? Because this is the first game this year that they've had a 100-yard rusher. That the Bills had a 100-yard rusher in Chicago. That was the first game. And they almost basically had two. They basically had 200-yard rushers. And James Cook and Devin Singletary. So I can predict that, man. The Bills haven't been dependent on the run at all the whole season. So, I stopped beating myself up. It's like, look, at the end of the day, it's fantasy. It's it's predictions. And so, you predict right, you predict wrong, you never know. I mean, shoot. It is what it is.
I hate to rub salt on your wound, but see what says full recap. I want you to read that sentence next to full recap.
Oh, really?
Come on.
Blue Marble fell short of predictions. Succumb to all I do is win, win, win.
Mm-hmm. Just want you to read that. That's all.
You bastard.
I
You
mean,
bastard.
this is what I tell
It's
you.
okay, Marque. Because you
him.
know what? At the end of the day, life goes on. You know, I'll heal at some point.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is,
I'll heal.
you
I'll
caught
heal.
him
Uh,
in a bad week.
but yeah, I'm playing for third now.
It's almost gotten to the point like this is just kind of how I'm feeling right now at this moment. If Zach Wilson somehow is a starting quarterback of the New York Jets next year, do not draft any people from the New York Jets. Don't do it because he's gonna be bad luck for you. I feel like he's gonna be bad luck for you.
Oh no, they're not gonna draft him. Come on, man. They're not gonna keep him. They're not gonna keep him.
The second thing is, don't draft anybody from the Atlanta Falcons next year either. Don't do it.
They're working through some things.
But if you have to, just get a running back. That's it. Don't touch nothing else.
Yeah. Well, but then you can't even trust the running backs because it's just like it's either Cordell Patterson or Tyler Algier. It's like you don't know which one. And I think they're trying to lean more on Algier since he was the younger back.
I'm leaning more towards Algier for next year. That's kind of where I'm leaning right now.
Yeah. Oh man, tough times. Hey, I will tell you one team that I am going to look forward to seeing next year. The Jacksonville Jaguars. I want to see that Trevor Lawrence with Calvin Ridley connection.
If Ridley plays.
Yeah. That's gonna be that will be major.
Yeah, I think if Jaguars if they draft defense in this upcoming draft to get some more defensive players, get some young talent in there, try to mature it. Maybe trade for some already seasoned players. They can build up their defense like they were before. Man, they could be something.
Yeah.
They can be a force to be reckoned with because they got the offense.
Oh, yeah.
They got the offense.
Jacksonville is the team that you got to keep your eye on, man. You got to keep your eye on Jacksonville.
You hadn't heard that since the days of when was the last time when they had that dominant defense that one year with Blake Bortles, Jalen Ramsey with Blake Bortles.
Yeah.
Oh, Blake Bortles, UCF finest.
Blake Bortles.
But all right, so that's my ride is over for the championship. But I will be playing for third place this week in both of my leagues. Try to get my money back. Hey, that's nice. Get my money back, hey, go into the lab and work it out. Try to find some more strategies. Try to keep it away from these guys as much as I can. Oh, man. So, on to our next segment. As we've known for, who's invited to the cookout? So, here's where we always try to figure out, who we're going to let, join the cookout, get on the grill for the first time, have their first beer with their uncles, that kind of thing. Or who going to get kicked to the curb, causing problems, bringing up drama from when they were 15 years old or 6 years old, whatever, all this. We here. So, do you guys want to go first?
I can go first.
All right.
Who's invited to the cookout? I gotta go CeeDee Lamb. I mean, it's pretty obvious for me. He showed why he was the number one pick by the Cowboys in that draft 2 years ago. And he lived up every moment. Like he is exactly what Jerry Jones wants in a receiver. Yep. He's flashy and he backs it up. So that's what he wants. And shout out to CeeDee Lamb, man. You're invited to the cookout, at least for this year. I still don't trust him personally, but if he continues to perform like he did on Sunday, he got a bright future here for him. So he's a
fair.
Now, who's kicked out? I may have kicked this player out before, but he's like non-draftable now. But that's Mike Evans. It's not his fault, man. It's really Brady. But like I told Davon over the weekend, I mean, as long as Mike Evans on the Bucks and Tom Brady's playing quarterback, you can't draft Mike Evans ever again. It's not gonna work. I mean, if it ain't only receiver draftable for the Bucks now is Godwin. Only one. Can't touch nobody else now. Mike Evans is really their true number one receiver, but he don't get enough touches to mean anything.
Yeah, he's always throwing to Godwin.
He got 1 point this week. 1 point. Last week he got 3 points. So, it's a wrap for that. So, this point on, I'm sorry, Mike Evans. You know what I'm saying? We'll still give you a doggy bag. We'll leave your play at the door, but you can't come in, man. I'm sorry, man.
You can't come in no more?
You can't come in, man. Like I said, we leave him a player outside, man, but he can't come in, man. He can't come to the football. Nope.
All right. Vaughn, you got your two?
Yeah, man, guys, man. I'm gonna stick on the same train that Marque is on for who I'm inviting, and this is very interesting. Very interesting. Like I said, man, I'm inviting CD Lamb. And
stay on the same train.
And I'm kind of swallowing my pride here because I had to play against CD Lamb this week in my other league. And I lost that matchup by 3.1 points. 3.1 points. CD Lamb, he went insane, and that really dealt a big blow. Dealt a big blow to me. I was surprised, man. Keenan Allen, I started him. He had a very good game, and he was close. If he would have got that TD, it was right there on that line, man. But hey, you lose the tough ones. Those are the tough ones that you lose, man. But hey, man, you got to give your props to CD Lamb, man. Like he's the Cowboys' number one receiver, man, and he's a guy that you want to continue to draft. You definitely want to continue to draft him for years to come. I really feel that. So CD Lamb, hey man, even in defeat, man, I still got to invite you to the cookout. Who I'm kicking out of the cookout, man? Nick Foles, man. I'm kicking Nick Foles out of the cookout, man, because he played horrible.
Super Bowl champion Nick Foles?
Yes, he played horrible. The guy threw like 3 interceptions against the Chargers. The dude was like 1 for 7 in passes that were more than 10 yards down the field. I mean, he was a statue in the pocket. Guys were getting to him very easy. Like he couldn't move at all. Like he was immobile. Like Nick Foles played horrible. Like, look, I feel sorry for anybody that had to start Nick Foles. Like, oh my gosh, I didn't see the final stat line that he had from a fantasy perspective, but it had to be negative. It had to be negative because he played trash, man.
Let's see. I'm very curious.
Like
I
Nick
don't know.
Foles was horrible, man. Nick Foles, dude, you are not invited to the cookout at all.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Forever, ever.
That was bad. Bad.
Let's see.
Come on, Nick Foles, man. I expected more out of you, man.
He had negative 0.28 fantasy points.
Negative, man. Negative.
17. He had 29 attempts, 17 completions for 143 yards and 3 interceptions.
Horrible, man. Horrible.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, that was pretty awful. So yeah, man. Hey, get your ass out of here, Nick Foles.
Yeah,
Hey, he did what he needed to do, man. He got his Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, he'll always have a backup. He'll always have a backup role.
Hey, he beat Tom Brady. Who else can say that? And you say he beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. How many people can say they did that besides Eli Manning?
Not many.
Yeah. So here's what it is. All right. Who I've invited to the cookout? It's a duo, man. Mr. Dak Prescott, you're first. You're invited to the cookout. You know, I've been talking shit about you, Dak. I say you were washed up. You ain't the answer for the Dallas Cowboys. You were done. You know, you and Zeke need to get their asses out. They just need to just start over. But you showed what you're capable of. You showed vintage Dak Prescott. The year that he went off and went nuclear before he messed up his ankle. You had a very good game. You didn't mess up. Best game of the season. Closed out the game without making any major mistakes. I mean, this is the game that you needed to have to show that you're ready to be in playoff Cowboy contention. You know, this is what the game Jerry Jones needed to see from you. This to show that, you know, he's been taking your, you know, he's had your back. So I think Dak is back with this game. You know, no pun intended. You know, no, Dak is back. You know, hey, you know, he can do his thing now. I'm hoping that maybe they can win a playoff game. Maybe their second one in like 30 years. So, you know, maybe they can win a playoff game. We'll see. But Dak Prescott, you're invited to the cookout. And second on my list, T. Higgins. T, you showing that you're a crucial part of the Cincinnati Bengals offense. You know, Jamar Chase, he's getting all the attention. But T. Higgins, he's a dog. T. Higgins is a dog. He had I think it was 128 yards and a touchdown in that game this week. Yeah, he's doing his thing. So T. Higgins, man, keep it up. They're gonna need you next week. It's a crucial game against the Buffalo Bills for the AFC. Hey, this is for the number one seed spot. So you know, T. Higgins, if you can do this kind of performance next week too, I think y'all got it on the Bills. But we'll talk about that later in my game of the weeks. Now, if you hadn't been able to guess it, who I'm fucking kicking out this goddamn cookout, who I am tired of, who I just can't stand no more, who, you know, I drafted you to be my number one, and all you've done is show me that you ain't shit this season. You've had a couple good games. This season. I mean, but otherwise you've been straight cheeks. And I mean cheeks. Aaron Jones, get your ass out, man. I'm done. I had so much hope in Aaron Jones this season after such a good season last year that I drafted him to be my number one. You know, my RB1. And like we talked about earlier, man, you know, players are gonna play if they can, you know. And I get that, you know, they're gonna play if they can. But it hurts me from a fantasy standpoint, which I have to bring into context. These are dudes' jobs, man. This is their livelihood. You know, I can't be taking this too seriously. But it still hurts to say for some reason, right? You put your emotions into it. You're trying to make great predictions. I mean, if I would have known if you were hurt, I would have put Devin Singletary in, right? And I would have won my league. But no, I was like, hey, they're playing against Miami. Aaron Jones is my dog. It's my day one. I play with him no matter what. And you know, I'm looking at, you know, his season log right here, and you know, I know I'm going to this whole spiel about Aaron Jones, but you know, I got this whole it's all his game logs right here, you know, for the season. You know, there's this picture right there, Aaron Jones fantasy, you know. You know, that's all his stats. You know, 7 TDs this season, 962 rushing yards. You know, I don't juke rate, you know, 5, you know, 5 drops, whatever, all that stuff. But here's his game averages, fantasy points. 29 was his top one in game 2. He had a good one against Washington. That was nice. He had a pedestrian one against Buffalo. Had a great one against, Dallas. Did his thing against Philly. And the Rams last week, I was like, man, he's back. It's Aaron Jones. But little did I know, the only reason he got that is because A.J. Dillon got that concussion. I just, I'm on that Vaughn train of never will I ever. And Aaron Jones, never will I ever draft you again.
he said it's never happening again, guys.
It's not. I'm done. I'm probably done with most Green Bay Packers to further notice, they're falling apart as a team. They won, but they don't look good. They don't look good at all as a team.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers taking that massive deal kind of hindered their ability to get good players. It got rid of Devontae Adams, which is his dog. Yeah, he's just not one of the players I can really trust anymore. So I gave you a shot this season. I was able to make it by any means necessary to the playoffs, and I did my thing. But at the end, you let me down. So Aaron Jones, peace, my guy.
See ya.
Yeah. All right. So that's it. Now let's move on to topics real quick. Now I want to talk about this one first because we talked enough about the Dallas Cowboys. I want to really talk about this one. After a horrible first year in Denver, is it time for the Broncos to ride out on Russell Wilson?
Yes, but they can't.
Exactly. And that's what my whole thing was. It's like they shot themselves in the foot with a 5-year, $242.6 million extension with $161 million guaranteed. Like that right there.
Only thing you can do is trade him. Ain't nobody
nobody gonna trade for that. They be like.
Maybe the Jets. Jets might want.
Oh, that's desperation, boy.
They
ain't gonna pay that much money though. They gotta pay the contract.
Hey man,
you're making like $49 million a year.
Trade the Bills, man. Trade Zach Wilson, Mike White. Trade them both. Both to the Broncos.
Bro, I'll tell him. I was like, who was I talking to? I think I was talking to my girlfriend. They're like, you think Russell's washed? I was like, yeah, that's washed. He's done. Like, he's finished. Like, he ain't got it in him. Like, it's crazy thing about it. Denver would have been a great team this year. They had the defense. They had the wide receivers. Their offensive line sucks a little bit. Let's get at that. They had the running back with Williams before he got hurt. They had a playoff ready team, but they had an incompetent quarterback in Russell Wilson, and half the team liked him. Sierra had their little birthday party, and half the team showed up. They make fun of him all the goddamn time. I mean, like, he gets no respect. Doing high knees, going over to the international game, bro. It's like, bro, come on.
He's a weird dude.
Yeah, he's different. He's different. I think Russell is just done, man. I don't see any, unless he just has a miraculous turnaround next season and shuts us all up. I don't see he's got it in him.
I mean,
what do y'all think?
I just didn't see anything like the Russell Wilson that we saw in Seattle. Like I haven't seen anything like not even the great passes that he normally makes. the anticipation, arm strength. He looks like he got his last contract. Like, this is my retirement contract.
Oh yeah, like as a person, Russell
I'm,
Wilson is the smartest man in the world.
Yeah,
as he is the smartest. He is a genius. Like, to get that deal is genius level. 161 million guaranteed.
It's like he sat downstairs and said, "Look, baby, my time football is coming down. It's coming to a near end, and I need to secure the bag. Now we got a bag, but I need a bigger bag before we shut this thing down. So if I get this last deal, it'll have us set for the rest of our life."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, they got rid of Nathaniel Hackett. I mean,
so that's terrible. I mean, it's not even his fault, honestly, man. It's not his fault. But they had a mistake. They had to fire somebody.
Yeah, they can't get rid of the quarterback.
That's all right. You come to Alabama, man. We'll take care of you.
But that sucks, man. You're in this position where it's like, damn, we got a star in Judy. You need Cortland Sutton could get a good two backup. And you got is it not KJ Osborne? Who's the other one?
I don't know. They've been so terrible, man. It's hard to even watch a game. So I don't know who's.
But their defense is good. That's the thing about it. They have a great defense.
Yeah, but it's hard.
But
it's hard when your offense is just so bad.
Yeah, think about you're one of the best defenses in the league, and your offense so terrible. Like, being in the locker room, just be like, y'all just cheat. Y'all straight ass. Y'all straight dumpster fire. He's like, y'all ain't helping us win games. Like, we only can do so much.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, like, if you look at like this article I had right here, it just talks about it. I'll bring it up real quick. It talks about the salary cap. Like, as much as Denver might prefer, and this is from this is the article. This is for Bleacher Report. The Broncos cap situation is explained if Russell Wilson is cut or traded in 2023 season. So, as much as Denver might prefer to move on in their offseason, doing so will require lighting a significant amount of money on fire. So here's the salary cap implication. So, released pre-June 1st of next year, they're gonna lose a salary cap of $85 million. Yeah. Traded pre-June 1st, they lose salary cap savings is minus $60 million. Released post-June 1st, minus $17 million. And then they got to suffer for it for dead cap for 2024. At $68 million. Yeah. And then traded post June 1st. It still got, dead cap of $68 million. Savings, they probably get into the positive of $8 million. But they got a dead cap of $14 million in 2023 and $68 million in 2024. So, yeah. They could cut them, but it's going to destroy their team in the process. It's like, you can't bring anybody in with that much salary cap without having to pay their luxury tax on top of it.
Exactly.
That's what would kill them. So, what would you do, guys? You gonna let Russ cook? Just have to let Russ cook.
I mean, guys, I personally,
and they just got new owners. Let's add on to the top of that. They just got new owners, like, literally.
Guys, me personally, this is just me personally. I have a slightly different perspective than what most people are thinking. I'm gonna tell you why.
Go ahead.
Russell Wilson came into the league in 2012, quarterback out of Wisconsin, transferred from NC State. Came in, Pete Carroll was his coach. He beat out Matt Flynn for the starting quarterback position. Was great. Russell Wilson has always been one of my favorite quarterbacks. Won a Super Bowl championship, went to a Super Bowl, lost to Brady, Probably should have won. Probably should have 2 championships. Arguably, probably should have 2 championships.
Should have 2 championships if they done the smart thing instead of trying to be cute.
But me personally, like, okay, there's no doubt this is the worst that Russell Wilson has played in his career. This is the worst season he's ever had. People call him corny, things of that nature. People just don't like him for some reason. I don't understand. People give him a hard time because he married Sierra, future situation, all that type of stuff, right? I personally don't think that Russell Wilson can do any worse than what he did this year. I personally don't believe that this season is all on Russell Wilson. There are so many things that you can look at on this Denver Broncos team, okay? Number one, Nathaniel Hackett was the head coach. Who is Nathaniel Hackett?
He was first-year coach.
Who is he? Who is Nathaniel Hackett? I don't even know who this guy is. So, obviously, he isn't that good of a head coach. Number two, there are people on this podcast that have put Cortland Sutton in the doghouse. There are people on this podcast that have put Jerry Jeudy in the doghouse. I personally don't think Melvin Gordon is that good of a good running back.
He got released.
Exactly. He was on the team. He's been on Denver for all these years and hasn't done a thing. The running back position is just like, Williams got hurt. He could have been that savior for those guys, but they don't have a running back.
They lost their number one dog. I mean,
they lost him. They lost him. Like, when you have those type of injuries, there's an argument that you might not be the same. We don't know. It remains to be seen. You have to come back and prove it again. We have also admitted that the offensive line is not that good. So me personally, I don't think that he's he has played awful, but this is his worst season ever. But I wouldn't just put him in the doghouse and just say, oh man, he's done. He's a quarterback. Like, Russell Wilson didn't forget how to play quarterback this year. I don't think he did. Because he has 9 years that has showed me that, man, this guy's a top 5 caliber quarterback in the league. I think that Russell Wilson will probably be on a mission next year, and I feel like that he can come back and redeem himself. I'm not saying he's going to come back and win an MVP next year, but I think that he will come back and be that you can solidify he will be a top 15 quarterback. You say, hey, man, Russell Wilson is on my team, and I'm not upset that he's my quarterback. That's kind of how I feel like he will come back in this year, because you can't go any lower. Like you can't do any worse than what you did. You can only do better. So I feel like that kind of puts him in a position to where, okay, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna come back and do something. That's kind of how I feel about the situation.
I'm gonna disagree with that, because I think Seattle knew that Russell was cooked. They kind of kept him safe in that little bubble in Seattle. You kind of seeing what he's actually producing. Like, Geno Smith is better than Russell Wilson.
1 year, guys. 1 year. 1 year, guys.
Geno Smith had the same. Geno Smith had the same players in Seattle, and he's doing better than Russell Wilson did in his last year there.
And they're still not going to make the playoffs, probably.
But Geno Smith's a better quarterback.
1 year, guys. We know he hasn't had a better career, has he?
No,
of course not.
Nowhere near close. So I understand, okay, this 1 year is going to destroy everything he's done. Everything.
Hey, what have you done for me lately? That's what we live by. We don't live by what you did in the past, man. It's what you done for me lately. And when your own, and it's bad. You know, it's worse when your own former teammates dog you, like Richard Sherman. Your own teammates dog you.
Okay, that's just. I feel like that doesn't have anything to do with Russell Wilson's play. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
So is Trent Dilfer.
Matt, if Matt will. Okay. Now you're being very facetious. You're being extremely facetious.
I'm just saying, Trent Dilfer is a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
You really believe Trent Dilfer is
Joe Flacco is a Super Bowl winning quarterback too.
That Trent Dilfer and Joe Flacco are better quarterbacks than Russell Wilson for a career? I want to hear you say it. I just mentioned a Super Bowl winning quarterback. No, answer the question. Is Joe Flacco or Trent Dilfer a better career quarterback than Russell Wilson? I'm really gonna question your football acumen if you say some crazy stuff like that.
That's like I was just listing Super Bowl winning quarterback. Nick Foles is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He beat the GOAT. Nick Foles beat the GOAT.
That's like saying General Motors or Ford is a better company than Tesla because their stock price hasn't gone down as much in 1 year.
Oh,
1 year.
Hey, like Nick Foles. Nick Foles is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Let's be real. Nick Foles. I'm gonna stop.
And I just kicked him out of the cookout.
I know.
The dude couldn't throw the ball down the field 10 yards.
Oh man.
I believe a first down is 10 yards, right? Get a first down in an NFL game.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
I will say this, like Geno, just this year. No, Geno is not overall over his whole career a better quarterback.
They're still probably not gonna make the playoffs.
Hey, but Geno, let's go back QBR. Let's go back QBR though.
Props because you had a better year than what you have had your entire career, and you still didn't make the playoffs. You don't get any props for that, huh? Like guys, are we really giving people participation trophies in the National Football League? Really?
I just kidding. Russell Wilson is a better quarterback overall than all the guys I mentioned. I just was being that guy. But I have little to no faith in Russell Wilson anymore. I'll just be honest.
Is he better than Dak Prescott?
Oh, hell no.
I mean, Dak hasn't won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Has Dak had comparable talent on the offensive side of the football in his career?
No.
He hasn't had comparable talent.
Who?
He hasn't had Zeke. He hasn't had Dez.
But you're talking about Tyler Lockett, you're talking about DK Metcalf, you're talking about all these. Russell Wilson has had receivers, running backs, and an all-star defense. I mean, Dallas Cowboys defense is good, but they're not the Legion of Boom.
They're not. They're not the Legion.
Yeah, the Legion of Boom is one of a kind, man.
Is definitely one of a kind. But I'm not going to give the Cowboys a pass. The Cowboys, 14-2. You guys were 14-2. You had Jason Witten. You know they talk so much about Jason Witten, right? One of the best tight ends ever. Right?
Yeah.
Jason Witten was on your team. Des Bryant was on your team. Zeke Elliott, a young Zeke Elliott out of the Ohio State University, was on your team. Offensive line, Pro Bowl. Jerry Jones up in the box.
Hey.
Happy, smiling.
Look,
I'm not giving you
I'll give you this. Look, Russell has had a better career. I'm not going to lie to you, and I'm not dumb. I just don't have any faith in him anymore. I can't see myself ever drafting him. I can't. It's like, I think he's washed. I still think he's washed. I still don't think he's got it. I think he's done. It's like these guys who have been legends to us for like a decade. Like the Tom Brady's, the Aaron Rodgers, the Russell Wilsons. These guys have just lived in lore for us for these like last decade. We're finally seeing, hey, AGE is undefeated, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's time to let him go. That's just my opinion. I'm not going to draft him. Maybe a QB2 if you were doing a two quarterback league. But never again. Never again.
Yeah. Put some respect on Russell Wilson's name, man.
Nah, I ain't putting no respect on his.
I'm not saying you should draft him as a fantasy quarterback. I'm just saying
I acknowledge he's one
has been
past tense was good.
Exactly.
Was he will be, if not a first round Hall of Famer, second, you get in the second year.
Yes. He's
gonna be a Hall of Fame quarterback because he got the statistics and he's got the Super Bowl ring. He'll be a Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
So let's not get it twisted. Not trying to put disrespect on his name, but I think he's done. Marque's been quiet. Now, would you draft Russell Wilson next year?
No, I'm not. I'm not telling you to draft him. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm not saying draft him as a quarterback. All I'm saying is that he's not playing on the best team either.
Yeah.
I mean, the team was terrible last year without him. So,
I mean, if you guys said that Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy, hey man, I'm throwing these guys in the towel. Obviously, you would be.
Yeah. I mean, I had faith in him though, man. Jerry Jeudy just gets hurt too much. He's got the talent. He's got the raw talent. He's good. He just gets hurt. You can't depend on him. Like, he's been doing great these last few games, but just because luckily he stayed healthy.
Yeah.
But anywho, let's go on to our games of the weeks. We went through our topics. Let's talk about our games of the weeks. I give Russell's respect. I give his Russell respect. I still think he's corny as hell, but his football acumen has been good over his career. I will just never draft him again. So games of the week. So I got my game of the week is the Bills at the Bengals. The 12-3 Bills at the 11-4 Bengals. Now, this is a Monday night game. Josh Allen versus Joe Burrow. You get that QB classic matchup. Young quarterbacks. It's a pivotal game for the number one seed of the AFC. Very close records. I mean, this is pretty much going to help decide it. Now, one thing I did like about the Bills this past week is they showed their running attack. Like I mentioned before, James Cook, 99 rushing yards and a touchdown, and Devin Singletary, 106 yards and a touchdown versus the Bears, which the Bears have a weak run defense, so it made sense, and the weather conditions were awful. But they are excellent rushers. They're proving that they got a tag team duo right there. So you can depend on the rushing game. Now, would they use them? Who knows? Because this is the first time the Bills have actually used both of their running backs in a game like this. It's the first time I've seen this whole season from the Bills. I knew Devin Singletary had it in him. They just weren't doing it. And it was just pissing me off. And it pisses me off to this day because that's the reason why I'm on playing for third. Anyway, I digress. Now, I believe this game is going to really be determined by the strength of the inconsistent defensive talent. You've seen the Bills. They're capable of stopping teams, but they've been inconsistent. So have the Bengals. Like the Bills, they got to stop a triple threat wide receiving core. Yeah, I'm throwing Tyler Boyd in that, unfortunately. But Chase, really the duo of Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Those two, plus they got a strong running back core of Mixon and Samaje Perine, who are able to step up and play very, very solid run games. right now the Bills are second DSTs against quarterbacks. So Josh Allen has got a solid defense behind him, and Joe Burrow is going to have to play against this solid defense. But the Bengals are fifth best DST against quarterbacks. So, Allen's going to have to play against this, And you know what? It's been killing Allen a lot this lately, and his points has been Diggs. Allen's still hurt for his arm injury, I believe. But Diggs in the last 3 games have averaged 5 targets, 3 receptions, 41 yards, and 0 touchdowns. So, that's a big thing. Really, Josh Allen's been depending on Dawson Knox, which is Marque's favorite tight end ever. Dawson Knox, he's had, 14.25 fantasy points on average for the last 3 games. He's had 6 targets, 4 receptions, 59 yards for 1 touchdown in that span of 3 games. So you can see that Josh Allen has been dependent on Dawson Knox a lot in these last 3 games, where Diggs has been slacking up. So, yeah. So it all depends on really the DSTs to me and Josh Allen's arm. That's my little preview. Bills are half-point favorites for this game, so it's really a toss-up.
Yeah.
It's going to be a toss-up.
Pretty even.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why they have pretty even records. But that's my game of the week. Guys, you got your game of the week?
Week 17, huh?
Yeah, week 17. Game of the weeks.
Let's see. I
already have a game of the week I'm watching.
All right, go ahead.
Carolina Panthers versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
For that crappy division, huh?
This game is actually going to be probably for the division, probably. And this game is important, extremely important, because the Panthers destroyed the Buccaneers earlier this season. Destroyed them at home. Now they're playing on the road in Tampa Bay. It's probably going to be a different ball game, but if the Panthers ended up winning this division, this would be crazy. This would be.
You got rid of your top dog and Christian McCaffrey in a trade, and you're still going to make it to the playoffs.
This would be insane. I'm just watching the game. I just want to see what happens. Look. I want to have the game on, guys. I want to have the game on and just see what happens at this point, because it's like this game is for the division. That's all I can say. That's all I can.
Fair enough. Sam Darnold versus Tom Brady, baby.
Give me a matchup.
Oh man, crazy.
All right, Marque, hit us with the last one.
I think I'm gonna go with Cowboys Titans, man.
Cowboys, Tennessee Titans, Thursday night matchup.
Yeah, I just want to see how the Cowboys gonna come out. They're gonna come out flat, or they're gonna show their true championship team and just take care of business, man, and move on to the next opponent.
Well, the Titans do have one of the weakest secondaries, so Cowboys would be good to exploit it. Just keep that train going with CeeDee Lamb again. Try to get Michael Gallup involved. Get the very senior T.Y. Hilton involved a little bit more, and use Dalton Schultz. Yeah, it can depend on Zach's arms. Let's see if it can depend on his arm to get him through the game.
Yeah,
I would say exploit it. Exploit the secondary.
Yeah, I don't see the Cowboys already tough enough. Do they want
they got it. Hey, do they want it? Yeah, you got to have that hunger, because, hey, everybody's dependent on you, man. You got a good record. Everybody's thinking you're going to be playoff deep. This is the time. You did a good game last week, but you got to keep this train going.
That's it.
Got to keep this train going. All right, guys. Well, that's all we have. For this week. I'd like to thank you too for joining me on this podcast, man. I know it's the holiday season. Hey, you try to link up, try to catch up. But like I said, we're gonna keep this train rolling. Next week, we'll see if I get third place in both of my leagues. We'll see what happens. But I was still, like I said, we're gonna have more content going throughout the all season. Eventually, I want these jokers to get me on with the basketball, which is a whole nother monster in itself.
Basketball, man.
Fantasy basketball.
I'm trying, guys. I'm trying.
Hey, we all tried, man. Hey, I won this past week. I beat Marque out.
Yeah, I just like I said, I can't get my lineup straight, man. Like it's just so hard.
You just gotta set your alarm for like 6:30 p.m. every day. The check lineups.
It's crazy, man. And I hate to do the auto start because auto start they kind of
they don't really put no strategy behind it. They're just like if the person if he's gonna play, then we'll put him in.
Right.
So hey, we got some dogs in that league, man. It's a tough league.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna come back though. Make some noise.
It's a long season. Hey, like I said, it's a long season. We got a long season. So
it is.
Hey, don't give up. You can win as long as you keep your head to the sky. Like Sounds of Blackness taught us.
Oh boy.
Be optimistic. But hey guys, thank you again. I'll let you go. Like we always say every week, thanks for joining us on the Fantasy Cookout. Like, subscribe on YouTube and IG at the Fantasy Cookout. Leave your comments below. And like I said, we'll be coming out with more content. One thing we want to do is come out with our own fantasy league. I'm gonna have to get with these jokers to see what they want to do. Like, I really, really am looking forward to this fantasy league. I got some top dogs joining us. I want some subscribers to join us to make this a 12-team solid league. Trash talk, everything. This is what fantasy is for, man. But to everyone out there, have a safe and happy holidays and be blessed. Thanks, guys.
See ya.
See you guys. Peace.
Peace.